Dave on a Friday, mixing it up in a big way. Anarchy night, let's get wild. Laugh till we're acting like a child. Jackbox games always a blast. With friends we know it's gonna last. Sunday movies, big screen delight. Chat involved, we light up the night. Liberty late night, let's go. Dave and Mary steal the show. Fun with AI, sparks will fly. Join us now, don't be shy. Every week, a new surprise. Light up the night with your eyes. From gaming fun to tasty treats, Liberty late night can't be beat. Laugh along and feel alive. 9 p.m. we're going live. Friday nights it's time to play. Gather around, don't delay. Liberty late night, let's go. Dave and Mary steal the show. Fun with AI, sparks will fly. Join us now, don't be shy. Liberty late night, let's go. Dave and Mary steal the show. Fun with AI, sparks will fly. Join us now, don't be shy.
Right back here.
Only on my side. I'm still all washed out over here. It's okay. It's fine.
I think we both are a little bit.
Well, it's okay.
Oh well,
I
it's
feel-
perfect.
Because you're not shiny, I feel okay. Dave had to alter things for Alan's show.
Because I had green hair.
Yeah, and the orange skin. But it was really the green hair
It is a little bright.
that
What are you gonna do?
that he came down and sat down and was like, oh no. Hi guys, welcome to Liberty Late Night. I'm Mary.
I'm Dave. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Real Friday again. I've been getting weekends off. I don't want to get used to this.
First Friday in November, and happens to also be November 1st. Did you guys have a happy Halloween?
Yeah.
We did. It was wonderful weather here. It was warm
weird.
and windy.
It was like hot.
Mm-hmm. The breeze was really nice, even though sometimes it was a huge gust.
It was.
It was like, oh my goodness. I had earrings on, but they had backs on them. So otherwise, I'm pretty sure it would have blown right out of my ear. Seriously.
It was neat.
But it was
It
really
felt
nice.
very fall-y, but
Yeah.
warm.
But warm, yeah.
There's some kids out.
Not hot, but warm.
Did you see the naked kids?
Naked? No.
There's like they're like teenagers, and I think there might have been a girl, but I was afraid to look at them. They were wearing like Speedos.
Really?
I'm like, because they're at a distance, and I'm like, they're like a bodysuit or something they're wearing. And they get closer, and I'm like, fucking wearing Speedos.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say they were wearing like
No, I thought they were.
flesh-colored.
Yeah. I'm like trying not to stare at them. Like,
Wow.
okay, happy Halloween,
Yeah.
weirdos.
There
Whatever.
were a lot of
Can't
older
do it
kids
any
out
other
this
year.
too.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah. My goodness. My goodness. Keith and Ellie and Nolan, hello. I saw a picture Keith had posted of you guys looking absolutely adorable yesterday for Halloween. Yep. And again,
yeah,
if
he was.
y'all,
Where's Waldo?
yeah, and if y'all didn't see Celeste and her baby
Oh.
and Max, the whole Waffle House gang,
Mhm.
absolutely adorable. Yeah.
I said
Um,
Celeste should have been the waffle iron.
Yeah. We had to do trick or treat in the rain, says Jay Forte. I would rather have done it
Ooh.
in the snow. Really?
We
Rain.
had threat of rain.
I was really hoping it wouldn't rain, especially with the wind.
Oh, yeah,
It
that
would
would've
have
been-
made it miserable. Even if it was warm rain, but with the wind, it would have been pretty bad. But it turned out to be a wonderful evening. Yeah, lots of walking, lots of hills. I did not wear proper footwear.
David had cowboy boots on, and we did a couple miles at least.
Yeah, I know his dog's gotta be barking. My toe was okay, which was
Yes.
really good. Yes, for those who didn't know, I cracked my toe pretty hard on
Tried to make a field goal with
on
the
Tuesday.
dining room table.
Yeah, the pumpkin carving evening, and busted it open, but I didn't need stitches or anything, and it wasn't broken. But
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I was
so
worried.
glad that I'm so glad
Where'd
I was
you
able
bust
to
it?
walk all over the place. So, was the dining room table wide right too?
Oh, come on.
Listen, I know we're all in our feels about like, oh, Bass. We're not quite sure anymore, you know.
Yeah, he's unreliable.
Yeah. So Matt Lacey's bummed.
Oh, we
that
gotta move.
That you don't look orange anymore. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm used to
We have
just
a
being able to
guest.
chit chat. We have a guest tonight, so let's say our hellos to the folks who are here already.
Go with Francis and Catherine into the living room. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Just in the living room. You should say
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
What'd you say?
I was reading.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Let's start with way before the show even started.
Oh yeah, it was like half hour.
Josh was here to say hello. What's up,
Wait, what am I doing?
Josh?
Okay, all right, there we go.
Hello, Joshua.
Hello, Joshua.
Disorganized.
Aaron's here. Aaron's the best mod.
The best mod.
You done messed up, Aaron!
I love you, Aaron.
Yeah,
You know that.
absolutely. Cannot replace him with a bot at all, no matter what the bot does. It doesn't matter. It's not Aaron, and Aaron's always the best and will always be the best forever and ever and ever. So the bot knows that.
Wow.
Let's see. Matt Lacey's in the house. How you doing, Matt? Nice to see you. Jay Forte. Hello. Did you get dressed up? Did you bust out the Luigi costume?
Hey, Jay.
I'm just gonna keep scrolling. Oh, Aaron heard that. He loves you too. Yay. Jamie Lynn's here. Also, thanks, Jamie Lynn, for the subscription. I heard it during
Oh, yeah,
the
thank you.
intro. So make sure you push the Jamie button.
Oh yeah, I should do that too.
Mhm.
Jamie!
I really do love all the, like, everybody gets upset at the bot. Even Jamie is at the bot.
It's fun.
It is. Keith
Everybody
is
loves it.
here. Hello,
Oh.
Keith. How you doing?
You're late, Keith. Which doesn't surprise me because you're a bad person.
Keith's on time. So, yes. Ellie's here. Hello, Ellie. It was a busy week, so
Oh, yeah.
we got to get you a
Dragged
button.
it out.
It is right there.
It's
Buttons,
in front of
Ellie.
me. But I have something special that I'm working on, and it's a huge project. So when I'm down here, and I enjoy doing it, so I spend all my time doing it.
He's been
But
using his off time to
maybe next week
do
we'll see.
something. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
Hey, that's pretty good.
See, but the bot's not cool enough to do that, Jamie Lynn.
okay.
You
Yeah, I
know,
can make. I
so.
can do things. I got ideas.
The bot.
So-
Well, then Dave would have to do all that extra work, So, yeah. What's up, Gare Bear? Gary's in the house. How are ya, Gary?
Gary, what are you doing here? You're causing a scene!
Oh my goodness! I did
love-
not have
love
poison
that
in my
video.
toe, Matt. Nope.
But you might have some on your chest up here where it's
Oh.
been itchy.
Oh yeah, it's from
Should
the
probably
dry
look into
skin.
that.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, he cares so
I'm
much.
concerned. Concerned man.
Concerned
Just a man.
husband. Yeah.
Concerned.
Alan. Hi, Alan. How are you doing? Nice to see you here. Hey, how's it going? I said you replaced Aaron. We did not replace Aaron. All right. Okay, we're tossing the bot out the window. So Ryan's here. Happy Halloween to you, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan!
Did you have fun handing out candy yesterday? Did you do that? Hello, Shillelagh.
Oh, hi,
Is
Shillelagh.
today her Shillelagh's birthday?
It's Shillelagh Day.
Is today the day? When is it? Hi, Shillelagh. Happy birthday, whether it's early or late or right on time, on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, or I missed it? Because
Are we all caught up?
it's yeah.
Okay.
All right, you let me know, Aaron, because we're gonna head to the movie wheel room.
Oh yeah,
because
we got to do that.
we got to do that. Yep.
All right, so think about this. I want to stay spooky. One more week.
One more week of spooky.
Because we can't go into
This
like
coming Wednesday.
holidays
Okay.
yet.
No.
It's just the first.
All right.
All right, so I still have it set up for Halloween. I can easily go back to normal.
Let's just do one more
One more Halloween.
one more Halloween spooky, just for the fun of it, right? And then we'll have normal movies for a couple weeks, and then it'll be Christmas movies, guys, before we even know it. Can you believe it? Holy
Yeah.
moly. I actually was ready to start putting on Christmas music today.
Yeah, we'll split November for Halloween and Christmas. Maybe we'll do like
Maybe.
one or two normal movies.
Maybe. I don't mind starting Christmas a little bit early.
Yeah.
Before Thanksgiving. Because we only get a couple weeks of it, just like we only get a couple weeks of Halloween and stuff too, but there's just so many movies. And...
All right, let's see what we're watching.
Okay.
Every Sunday night, we watch a movie on our super secret movie channel. If you want to get that, you got to get in the LLN community on Facebook or get in our Discord to find the channel where we do that. The Possession. I have no idea what it was.
The Possession. Has anybody seen it? What do you think? Yay or nay?
I've never heard of it. Sunday nights, 9 Eastern. Ooh.
2012.
Just from the screenshot,
Oh.
it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks scary.
It looks a lot of fun just from
It looks
Googling
really
it.
creepy.
It might show up on the wheel here. Can't really see
Can't
anything.
really see. Oh, well, you can see. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that one with the hands. Yeah.
That looks fun, right?
39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're watching it.
All right, we're going to watch it.
Maybe it'll be bad.
Yeah, who knows? We can always talk over it, right? Bad
Yeah.
movies are still fun with friends. So, all right, we're going to head back to the bar.
I gotta start.
Look at us
the
being on
meeting.
time. Dave's going to start this Zoom call, correct?
So then we can talk while we make sure everything
Okay.
connects. Because
Ryan took his niece trick-or-treating. Oh my gosh, she went as Caroline. Oh, how cute. How fun. Let's see, 4 more days. And your baby's going to be an adult. That's just crazy. That is so crazy. David's not far behind.
cool.
I can't even imagine. Oh my goodness. Aaron, that's
camera.
so
Hopefully,
wild.
I forgot to see if anything was set up. So I'm hoping that we're coming through.
Okay.
You can't hear us yet.
Ryan says bad is sometimes good. Yes. Yep. We'll see how the movie
Mm-hmm.
goes. Yes. Probably less scary than the shit from YouTube I curated. Yes. And thank you for that, Aaron, by the way. That was very nice
That
of
was
you. Thank
very
you. It
helpful
was
that I don't
very
have to
nice.
like search for things and watch a bunch of crap.
And I love all those shorts, the movies that people made. It has Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, so that's a bonus. All right. I'm not even going to say I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Don't know who that is. But if you think about it, the first Evil Dead was really bad, and so bad that it was good that they just made it again. Leaning into the bad, making it even more good.
Right. And a cult classic, right?
Yeah. Classic.
That's what it's become. So it looks good actually. All right.
Just the pictures that I saw when I Googled it, I'm like, oh, it looks like it has some good effects. So we'll see how that goes.
Thanks for looking into it, Jamie.
All right. We got
appreciate
video.
that. Right, you do the testing stuff you need to do, Dave.
No, it's fine.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Nothing will come through until we bring them in.
Okay. All right. Oh, Kara Sedgwick is also in that movie.
Can you talk? Oh, good.
Awesome.
Good.
All right. Dave's going to bring you in on the screen.
All right.
Here, just a second.
Oh, yeah. How do I do this?
How do you do this?
We haven't had a guest
I
in a
know
while.
it's been a minute.
This should look okay. Is that going to work? I push the button.
I don't know. There we go.
There we go. Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll just straighten that up real quick. You say hi and introduce him.
All right. My earbud just did that thing. Everybody, this is James Tucholsky from Eerie Unknown. Super excited to have you on here. Thanks for being here, James. My name's Mary, by the way. I'm the other half. You've been talking to Dave, so.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is we're still continuing our spooky season for another week, because why not, right?
Right.
It goes by fast like every other season does. So for you guys, is this extra busy time of year for you? Like around the Halloween time, or are you just always on the hunt for?
We're always on the hunt. We try to do a couple investigations a month if possible. We're always sending out feelers to different businesses, posting on our Facebook page, asking if anybody has a haunted house, knows anybody that has a haunted house. One of the things we pride ourselves on is helping raise money for local businesses. Usually around Halloween time, we do some fundraisers. The last couple weeks, we did fundraisers for the Presque Isle Lighthouse. We put on a small little meet and greet. We do a little mini investigation with some of the people. The lighthouse sells tickets. Obviously, people buy them. They raise money to do upkeep and maintenance, stuff like that. But in the past, we've done charity events for Fort LaBeouf Historical Society, Northeast Bowling Lanes when they were still in business.
Nice.
We did a couple giveaways and whatnot, raised some money for them. This is back during COVID time. Nobody was allowed to be out bowling, so they were falling behind on some bills.
Oh, yeah.
We help raise money for them. So that's one of the things we kind of pride ourselves on. And obviously during Halloween time, that's when a lot of people reach out to us and see if we can try to help them out.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome though. Like, because we really believe in people helping people also, and that's the real way that things should work. But I think that's wonderful that you guys use that as a way to help the community and things. So how did Eerie Unknown become a thing, and give the folks watching just a little idea of what you guys actually do?
So it's something that I've always had an interest in, just like a lot of people out there. And one day I was up late watching TV and I said, you know what, I'm going to buy some equipment. So I hopped on the internet and, spent some money that I probably shouldn't have. And once that came in, I was nervous about posting it on Facebook and saying I was doing ghost hunting. A lot of people don't believe in it, but it came very welcomed. Once I posted it on Facebook that I bought some equipment, I had a bunch of people messaging me, texting me, asking if they could be part of the group. When we started, it was like maybe we can do a couple investigations a year, some friends, family, something like that. And within the first year, we did probably about a dozen
Oh
investigations.
wow.
We started a Facebook page. Bunch of friends and family, were following us, and it just grew from there. And we've been doing it now for about 5 years. We've done probably about 60 investigations. We have 6,500 followers on our Facebook page in like 5 or 6 different countries now. So it came very welcomed, and I never expected to be where we're at.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
It seems pretty popular in the area when I found the page because I'm into that stuff. Like when I could listen to podcasts at work, I listen to a lot of ghost story podcasts and stuff like that, and I like to watch the creepy stuff. And so I saw an Eerie group show up, and I'm like, oh, that's neat. Let's see what they're doing, And I started following your page, and I'm like, we should talk to this guy.
Yeah, that's fun. So you said that something you've always wanted to do was that you were just interested in it, or did you have any kind of experience firsthand that prompted your?
I did. Unfortunately, I believe it was back in '99. My grandmother passed away of cancer, and shortly before she passed, she was doing a lot of weird things, talking to family members that
Oh yeah.
were long gone.
Mhm.
She was staring at things, and at the time I didn't put two and two together, but she was Polish, started talking a lot of Polish,
Wow.
talking to her husband, my grandfather, who passed away, I believe 2 or 3 years before I was even born. And just a lot of weird things happened. And she was very religious. And one of the priests came down to the house to talk to her, see her. And I had asked him, I said, Father, she's doing a lot of weird things, talking to people. And he was like, well, it's believed that if you're passing, and it's not a sudden thing, family members will help you cross over. They'll come comfort you, and when your time comes, they'll help you cross. And I believe that's what happened with my grandmother.
Oh.
And like I said, at the time, it didn't dawn on me. I think I was 16, 17 years old at the time. But looking back on it, it kind of still just gives me chills what I kind of witnessed. And now that it's become more popular and it's all over TV and things like that, I kind of got the urge to want to do it and see what I can make of it.
Yeah.
We were doing that one of the times where we were talking about ghost stories and asking if anybody had ghost stories, and one of our friends came on. He's down where in Texas or something, Diego. And he told us a story. It was actually a really good story about somebody popping out from behind a corner where there could not be anybody, and there was nobody there when he checked. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm way into that. And he's like, I'll buy some stuff. I'll get a plane ticket. I'll come up and we'll check out some places around you. And I'm like, I had a few drinks, so I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. We should do that. And the next morning I had to text him and be like, dude, that scares me so bad. I don't know if I can do that. you just stay there. But I love it. Until I really, really, really put myself there. Like I watched a few of your videos and I see you guys like just in dark, creepy tunnels, empty buildings. And it's like to really put myself there. I'm like, I don't know. Like coming down in the basement in the morning, sometimes I freak myself out just getting my uniform for work.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
It's not as bad as you think. One of the reasons that we do investigations at night, it's not because of the creep factor like everybody would think. If you do an investigation at night, it helps get rid of, shadows from sunlight, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
At night, if we're doing somebody's house, and a car drives by, you get the glare of the headlights shining on the wall and stuff like that. But Investigations can be done at any time, day, night, doesn't really matter when.
Mm-hmm.
But we do them at night for that reason. Plus, if you're doing an overnight investigation, you always have the 3 o'clock witching hour. That's said to be believed to when spirits are most active. So we try to do that whenever possible. But it's not like you see in the movies. If you watch a Conjuring and you turn the corner and there's an entity staring at you, growling and hissing.
Right.
That is very rare. Not saying that it's never happened or not happened or anything like that. It possibly could, but the likelihood of it just isn't there. One of the investigations we did was at a business out in Waterford, and I was staring down a hallway, and it was dark. You could barely see your hand in front of your face. And I was very certain that I saw this dark black mass walk right to left down another hallway. And the weird thing about it was on the right hand side was a wall that led outside. So I'm pretty sure I saw something walk through the wall and down a hallway. And like I said, it was just this black mass. I'll be honest, and some of my other investigators still give me grief about it, but I jumped a little bit. It startled me.
As it would.
We did the tunnels underneath Union Station
Brewery, yeah,
and yep. We did those, and it's damp, it's moist down there, it's dark. But at least for me, it wasn't the chill creep factor,
No?
Unfortunately, didn't have anything happen while we were down there. And, sometimes you have that.
Yeah, I always want to do their Halloween tour, but I never get around to it.
Yeah. The kids at one point had asked us, please don't go do that when they were younger. Like, please don't. So do you watch scary movies? Are you into scary books, scary movies, all that kind of stuff? Like ghosts films, and do you have some favorites that you like?
Or even genres?
So growing up, I love 80s movies. 80s is my favorite. No other generation will ever touch it. If you guys remember the movie Phantasm?
Oh,
yeah.
With the little flying things. Like I have vague
with the silver balls and the tall man. That movie scared the absolute crap out of me. And still to this day, it's probably my number one favorite horror film to watch.
I gotta watch that.
Modern day ones, I'd probably say maybe like The Conjuring. Those are actually based on true stories, which I find is pretty cool. But yeah, I would have to say Phantasm. That would be number one on my list.
Yeah, I gotta watch that again because
yeah.
is Christopher Walken in that?
A long time. I don't know who's in it. I'd have to look it up.
Maybe it's somebody that kind of looks like him.
Not in it.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
The guy that played the tall man, I don't know why his name stuck in my mind, but his name is Agnes Scrim, and he passed away, I don't know, years ago. But yeah, I don't know. They made like 4 or 5 of those movies. It was a small franchise that they made of them. But yeah, I don't know. Just the cheesy horror side of it, back in the 80s, it was pretty good CGI that they used, or I don't even think they had CGI back then, but just the way they did the movies, it was a good movie. It had that little bit of cheese factor in it.
I might watch that tonight.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good movie.
And we have another
That's
local
fun.
in chat, and he asked, have you ever done any of the houses on Millionaire Row? What is that, like 6th Street?
Yeah. Like
6th Street. Yes, we did one. I won't name it. It's an old house that is now a lawyer firm, which there's quite a few of them down there. So anybody watching, I guess you can go through and try to figure out which one it was. But yes, we did one. I want to say maybe 2-3 years ago, and it definitely didn't disappoint.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
Now, since you're not
Yeah,
naming it, I'm guessing it wasn't like a public stream type thing. Was it just like the owners wanted you to?
No. Yes. Yep. One of the lawyers that I was talking to, he said he was actually preparing for a trial, and there was a couple nights that he stayed at the law firm, and he was like, I wasn't alone. He said I heard the footsteps and weird noises and and stuff like that. It kind of creeped him out a little bit, but he didn't go running out the door or anything like that. But yeah, we investigated there, and we got some pretty good evidence off of that one.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Now I remember years ago we went to like an open house in one of those houses where it was like you could be on like the third, or I don't know if it was a fourth floor.
Yeah, like the attic.
But you wouldn't
area.
know somebody was up there.
Right.
If you were
They're
just on the ground
huge.
floor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you couldn't hear each other. Like and I felt weird in that place. And I don't
Too
know if I
big.
was just freaking myself out because it was too big and
And old,
and
the
empty
history.
and creaky and
So what do people do when they get that information? I mean, do people go, I knew it, or oh my gosh, we have to burn it down?
GTFO.
Yeah.
Most everybody, they're pretty welcoming with it. They have some idea that their house, building, business, whatever could be haunted. We've never really had anybody get overly freaked out about any evidence that we've caught, or our opinion on whether their house could be haunted or not. Some people find it a little uneasy. They ask advice on what to do. We've had a few people ask if we knew anybody that could cleanse their house.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever really like freaked out, or anything like that. And then on the other side, people that think their houses are haunted, we go in, we don't find anything. It gives them a little sigh of relief.
Yeah.
But, it's one of the things that we like to say, spirits aren't trained animals. They're not part of the circus. They're not there to perform.
Yeah.
So if somebody says their house is haunted and you get a couple, 2, 3, 4 guys that walk into your house, that spirit could sit back and say, oh, wait a minute, who are these people? And, that spirit might lay low for the night, wondering what we're doing there. But if you have a business or a house that is haunted and the spirit is used to you, it's going to be more active around, people that it may know.
Yeah, if it's like our cat, you come to our house, you wouldn't know we had a cat.
Oh yeah.
Except
he
for
hides.
the poop
Yeah.
box in the basement. Anybody else is here, he ain't visible.
Do people want to walk around with you guys? Do you allow for that, or do you ask them to not be there?
Nope, we do. We usually leave it up to them. If we're doing somebody's house and they want to go to a neighbor or, get a hotel room for the night, they're more than welcome. Everybody usually stays with us, which it doesn't bother me. We just ask that they respect what we do. When we try to do audio recordings and stuff like that, just be, quiet, let us do our thing. And a lot of times with the homeowner there, it might help out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Have that familiar face.
Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, we don't allow large groups, if we're investigating a home and it's, we don't, hey, invite your neighbors, brother, sister, cousins, uncle, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, owners want to stay, and if they have kids or something like that, we're fine with it as long as we can do our job without it getting interrupted.
Yeah, you got to limit the variables. The
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, what was that noise? Well, there's 15 people in this house.
15 extra people.
Unfortunately, we do run into that situation sometimes. When we do EVPs, we use recorders that are extremely sensitive to sound, and we could put a recorder downstairs and on the second level of the house, it'll record you like, the recorder sitting right next to you. That's how sensitive they are. And we've tried to do EVPs before, and we'll hear a little kid in the background or something like that, and we knew it was the homeowner's son or daughter, or but we do our best not to get any tainted evidence.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask about the equipment that you guys use. What was some of the first stuff that you got, and have you changed any up or said like, oh, this one?
I know technology.
Yeah, because it changes, and so like, oh, this we don't, like that one anymore, so we're gonna go to this. Like, what do you guys have?
Like we'd watch that show. I hated that damn spirit box.
Oh. I actually like the spirit box.
Well, we have a couple of those spirit boxes that you love so much.
I like it. I think it's neat.
One
creeps me out. Yeah, it creeps me out.
One of the first pieces that I got was the SLS camera. And if you guys ever watch Ghost Adventures or anything like that, it's the computer operated camera that can pick up stick figures.
Oh, I see.
That
was funny often.
Yep.
That one. Yep. That was one of the very first piece of equipment that we bought. And then my second, third, and fourth were all night vision cameras. We have a 4K handheld camera. We have night vision GoPros. We have a Kodak camera that takes video and still picture. We have various REM pods, what they call them. Those are those devices that have like the red, green, white lights, and as you get close to them, they'll make like a buzzing noise. We have K2 meters, EVP recorders, thermal camera. Like I said, the SLS camera. We don't have everything out there, but we definitely have enough to be able to video record separate rooms, a big size building. We can't cover every square foot, but we definitely have enough equipment to do a pretty decent job at it.
Yeah. I found actually, let me see if this shows up. Oh, it's not going to work.
Maybe. Oh, sorry. My finger hit your hand there.
Where did that go?
Right here. Dave wants to bring up one of the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Well, it's that camera you were talking about.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep. That's the SLS camera.
They always look like they're kind of dancing.
Yeah. So what it is it's actually based off of Xbox technology.
Oh yeah. Okay.
From the Xbox 360. Bill Chappell, he invented or still invents equipment for the guys off of Ghost Adventure, for Zach Bagans and stuff like that. And he invented that SLS camera. And like I said, it's off of the Xbox technology. And what it does is it broadcasts a laser beam, and whatever laser comes back to you before it like bounces back off of the wall, it'll project an image of it. And it's able to pick up, something that you don't see with the naked eye. So in theory, if we get something that's on the SLS camera, it could be a spirit. I'm not saying that it is, but it could be a spirit. The downside to it is if you have, a coat hanger or something like that, it could project a stick figure, from like a coat, or maybe another object if you have a tall floor lamp or something like that, or it's tried to map out a big plant, like a potter plant that somebody had in their living room. So I mean, you got to kind of distinguish. But if you're in an empty room and nothing's around and you're getting a figure on that, there might be something there.
Right. So I wanted to ask about the people that you go in and work with doing this. Sometimes there's folks who One is like very serious. Another one is
know exactly
maybe
what you're talking about.
aggressive.
What
Another
is it?
one is super silly.
What's the show that we
I
watched?
can't think of the name of it. It was from a long time
BuzzFeed
ago.
Unsolved.
Yeah. But the one guy would always go in and he was like, I'm like, nothing's going to say anything to you because you're being a turd, you know? Like, so, because he's walking in like, oh, touch me, you know, I'm not afraid of you, or, you know. So do you have all different kinds of characters that work with you, or do you guys all just go in and you
Just
know,
business.
in business and, you know, respectfully do the job?
We a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We're all very like-minded. The two co-investigators, Mike and Scott, we've known each other for a very long time, probably over 20 years. And we're like, you know, triplets. We all have the same mentality, attitude, mindset. We do take our investigations extremely seriously, but we also do have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, as I was explaining, you know, when I kind of jumped after I thought I saw that black shadow, I caught hell for that all night long. They wouldn't stop laughing about it, picking on me, you know, whatever. But yeah, we go in, we're extremely serious about it, but we also do have some fun with it. You know, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
And especially if it's a slow night and we're not getting much evidence or nothing is happening, you know, we try to tell some jokes and, you know, whatever to keep ourselves awake and entertained. And a lot of times, if we're just sitting around talking, and that's when activity could happen. You know, you're just minding your own business, you're doing your own thing, and something wants to join in. And we've had plenty of times where, as we're talking, our equipment starts going off, and you know, it's almost like something wants to join the conversation with us. So it kind of works out to our favor sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
because
you're just
if you
relaxed
think about it, like
and-
what most people see is a TV show, entertainers,
Right. Yeah.
and that's what you see on TV. So you guys are actually like just you're investigators. You're not trying to make a show. You're not trying to entertain people. You're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Right. And I wish Mike was with me, because we're amateurs, you know. We all have full-time jobs. This is something we do as a hobby. Our equipment, I'm gonna say, is around the $5,000 mark we've spent on all of our equipment.
That's a decent
that
hobby.
wasn't
Yeah.
paid for by sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It wasn't paid for by sponsors or anything like that. And watching what's on TV is fascinating. I mean, I won't deny it. They get a lot of good evidence, but they're also famous, so they're allowed into places that probably no other paranormal investigating group would ever be able to get into. They have all the greatest equipment out there. And Mike, he actually sat down the one day and watched an episode of Ghost Adventures. An hour out of an hour-long episode, there was like 25 minutes of commercials. And then there was like 20 minutes of talking, interviews, explaining the location, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
out of an hour-long episode, they're only showing like 10 minutes of actual investigation footage.
Yeah.
Now, out of that 10-minute footage, those guys, they're at a location for days, sometimes maybe even a week, and they take a week's worth, or, you know, let's say 3 days worth of investigation footage, and they throw it into 10 minutes of airtime. We go to an investigation, and sometimes we're there for a couple hours, sometimes we stay overnight. But, you know, let's just say we're at an investigation for 5-6 hours, and we get what we get. And there's times that the nights are very active, they're very fun. And other nights we sit there for 4 or 5 hours, and you just keep looking at your watch saying, when is the time to go home? You know, and we do a lot of live feeds on our Facebook page whenever we're allowed to. We get permission from whoever we're
Oh yeah, yeah.
investigating, and we've got that question a lot. Oh, this is boring,
Yeah.
and things like that, and why isn't anything happening? Well, this is real time.
Yeah.
It's not a Hollywood production. We don't record it and then edit to the best parts. If you ever watch one of our investigations, you're going to see a lot of talking, walking. This isn't working. What do we do next? How do we try to, get some activity to happen? We've tried provoking before, but it's something that we try not to do.
Yeah.
Provoking it can be a little dangerous. If I come into your house and you say
Oh.
it's haunted and nothing happens, and I provoke a spirit, I start calling it names, whatever have you, we leave, that spirit could be pissed off and take it out on you.
True.
So there's a lot of guys out there, they do nothing but provoke and try to get the best footage they can, but
Yeah.
usually we don't do.
Yeah, especially if
good.
it's a private residence. Like
Yeah,
I've heard
I
stories of
didn't
that
even
where it
think
just
about
gets
that.
worse. Like a lot of the big, like possession, haunting type things
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, well, we had people come in and now it's pissed, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't help us. Nobody's helping us, and it's just gotten worse.
I want to say Eerie Unknown, hello, has come into the chat and says Mike's awesome. Does that happen to be Mike? In the chat. Oh gosh. So what are some of the things that like communication wise, when you do you do like where you ask it a question?
Somebody asked
I mean,
about
like,
a Ouija board. Nobody messes with those.
yeah. Whew, maybe.
I've used Ouija boards. I'm not sold on them 100%, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
No, I believe in them. I really do. I believe they can, conjure up some spirits, evil, whatever have you. I've never had anything that happened to me personally, and I've actually even played with one in an old cemetery at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
And nothing didn't. It was quiet.
Yeah.
So you don't
but-
creep easy.
Ooh, wow.
No, I don't. I mean, I've been in some pretty weird places by myself, and as of Mike and pretty much everybody else in our group. But yeah, like I said, it's not like you see on TV. If you've ever watched a movie, a Ouija, where their friend died and they used the board to bring her back, and it brought in a demonic entity or something like that.
Every time.
Once again, I'm not saying. Yeah, we're right. Exactly. Not saying that can happen, but the likelihood is very rare.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't get freaked out very often.
What's that one called? Zozo or whatever?
I do believe Zozo, it's supposed to be, I believe, the mother of the devil or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There are rules. If I do play with an Ouija board, there are rules that I follow.
Yeah, close that bitch out.
They recommend you circle the board for every player. You make sure you close it out and say goodbye. I do follow those rules, just in case.
Yeah. I think I only played with one like twice when I was young, and I had no idea what I was doing.
I've never around one.
I had no clue what was happening. Like I wasn't aware of it. And then it was like my mom was like, "You did what?" I'm like, "Huh." I didn't know. I was like 8.
Yeah, it's like, but like
know?
all parents are like they don't talk anything about ghosts or do anything or any of that. But it's some reason it's just like, no, you don't mess with the Ouija board. Those are bad. I don't know if that's just some thing, but
yeah. But I mean, I don't
like
know.
I knew that at a young age. I can't remember exactly how.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow. Oh, we have our cat. This is that's Simon.
He hates the camera.
He doesn't want to be on camera. So let's see. Matt had mentioned places like the factories on 12th Street. Have you ever been called to any of those, older places? Because I mean, east to west side, they're all over, and some of them are abandoned, some of them are still in use, and might be haunted.
We did the old Griswold manufacturing building where the Eerie Bis factory of terror is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That was interesting. One of the things that I didn't realize when I got into doing this, I absolutely love history. I love eerie history. I am like a big nerd about it, but I never took into account of all the historical places we would be getting into and have the opportunity to. And that is one of probably the biggest thing that I love about it. With that being said, the Griswold Manufacturing, it was world known for their kitchenware and stuff like that. And the owners of Eerie Bis, they got a hold of us. They said that they believed that the place was actually haunted, minus their, Halloween attraction that they had. And down in the basement was the old nurses station. We got a little bit of activity in there. It wasn't anything really mind-blowing, but we were up on the 4th floor, and it's like a 500,000 square foot building. It's 4 stories tall, and we were up there, and it's just 20-30,000 square feet of absolutely nothing. The old wooden floors, if you could picture what an old factory floor looks like. And we were all just kind of standing around, walking around a little bit. And just at the right moment, we were kind of in a group together. Nobody was doing anything. We almost, it sounded like footsteps with a key jingle. If you can think of like back in the old days when these guys used to wear their, 50 different keys on their base belt or whatever.
I do that at my shop. I have keys.
Yep. So, and that's what it sounded like, footsteps with the key jingle. And here to find out, I want to say it was in the 20s, the night watchman, the night guard that was working, he was upstairs and he went outside onto the roof. Somebody walked up behind him and pushed him off and killed him.
Wow.
So, yes. So did we hear the footsteps and the jingle of the night watchman, walking around still doing his job?
Oh my gosh.
Don't know. And one thing I always say is, unless a spirit comes up to me, sits down to me and talks to me like we're talking right now, I will always say, I'm not saying it's paranormal, but you never know. What we experienced up there, was it paranormal? I don't know, but it's very difficult to explain. A lot of the evidence that we get, whether it's EVPs or REM pod K2, whatever, like when our REM pod goes off, if you guys know what that is
that noise
Can you
or
tell
lights?
me again? Yeah, I know. I've heard of it. I can't remember.
Noise and light. But the only way for that to go off is if something magnetic that has a magnetic field gets close to it and sets it off.
Okay.
If we're not around and we're asking questions, yep, that's it right there.
Okay.
If we're not around it, we're asking questions and it's going off, theoretically, there is no reason whatsoever that should be going off.
Okay.
So is it paranormal? You very well could be, but we can't say yes, that is 100% paranormal activity.
What do you say is, can you say anything is 100% paranormal activity? Like what criteria does it have to meet for you to say like, yep, this is it?
Me personally, if you're in a room that nobody's in, or if it's only you and there is no way to be able to debunk anything, and something were to move or you see a full-bodied apparition, then yes, I would say that's definitely paranormal. You have to take out all factors. That's one of the things we try to do is, maybe try to debunk something. Somebody sees their curtains move and they have a heat register under their curtains. Well, that's probably because the heat kicked on, and your curtain moved. But if we have a night vision camera set up in a room and nobody is in that room and something moves, something gets knocked off the wall, and there is absolutely no explanation for it, then yeah, I could probably be comfortable saying that, that's paranormal activity. Somebody's house or business is haunted.
So you go over this information, like do you guys take the stuff that you've done that night and then go back over it the next day or so and kind of see what all happened? What is that like?
And I very tedious, and I'm the one who gets the joy of doing that.
Oh, you.
It's all me. With personal life and stuff like that, it takes about a week. Each video camera that I have records about 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
You have audio to review. You have still pictures to look at. There's sometimes we could walk into a place and take 150 pictures. So you have to review all of them, look at them carefully, make sure you're not missing a shadow or an orb or something like that. The night vision is probably the worst part. The second you blink, somebody walks by.
Oh,
so you load it onto the computer and you just stare at it. And like I said, between both GoPro cameras, that's 20 hours of footage that I have to review.
Wow.
Oh man, I can't even.
And no one else wants to help with this.
Nobody usually does. And I'll be honest with you, I've never said, "Hey, why don't you guys help?" But I don't mind doing it. But like I said, it's that one thing where you're watching the night vision video, and as soon as you look away or you blink, something could happen. The same thing with the EVPs. I upload them to the computer. I have an audio software that helps enhance everything, drowns out background noise. And you have to listen to each audio, sometimes a dozen times to make sure you're not missing anything. A lot of times if you do capture an EVP, it's very faint. So you have to be able to distinguish maybe some background noise, or did we pick up the noise of, somebody's daughter that was home that was talking. So there's definitely a lot of tedious work that goes into it. And like I said, I usually tell our clients about a week or so to go over everything. If we do capture stuff, I always ask if they want to meet up. I can, do the evidence review in person, or, I can text them, the stuff that we have, we can talk on the phone. But yeah, we don't go anywhere and then leave people hanging.
Yeah.
See, and
that's
if
great.
if it's anything like me, and this is your baby, your thing that you're doing,
this is your
I
thing.
couldn't see saying, okay, you go ahead and review that evidence for me.
You don't want to be,
and maybe
Dave
miss
wouldn't
something.
Let me review
Yeah.
evidence. He would have to do it.
But another thing, what is that place that I always point out to the kids when we're down in by Wabtec or G or whatever, and I'm like, that house
right
is...
across from like 12th Street. No, 6th Street. Sorry, East Lake Road, and I think it's like Water
notoriously
Street.
It's East Lake.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's
So
like that house
I know
that's just
exactly
kinda...
what house you're talking. It's almost right at the end of Water Street there. I actually tried to get into there.
Yeah. It's a private residence.
The guy
right?
that owned it, and It's a private residence, and it's actually very commonly known for the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, there's tunnels that lead to the basement of that house that go out to the lake, and
Wow.
that's where they would hide and transport some of the slaves. Um, I want to say it might have been a year or two ago. The guy posted pictures on
Oh,
Facebook
no kidding.
to one of the groups, and he renovated the house. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So I had sent him a message, and I said, "Hey, look, I know this is going to seem weird, but here's my thing."
Yeah.
Mhm.
I told him what I do, and he was very nice. He said, "Hey, I appreciate you reaching out to me, but it's something that we're not interested in." So that would have
Oh, I
been
wish he
great to
was.
get into that, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe someday he will be.
We had your buddy talking about footsteps walking in front of you in the men's bathroom at Union
Oh.
Station. Also, my favorite urinals in Erie.
Mm-hmm. Dave loves the bathroom at the brewery. And then Emily says here, my daughter and I were in the upstairs bathroom at Union Station and heard a little girl laughing, and we experienced other stuff as well. And we have frequented there.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite date places.
It is. It is.
When we were there, Mike, who is probably the one creeping on us on here, he was in obviously the men's bathroom, and he was by himself in there, and he heard footsteps walk up behind him, and he said that he was 100% he was 100% confident that he would have turned around and saw one of us standing behind him.
Mhm.
And he turned around and nobody was there.
Oh.
But he heard 100% footsteps walk behind him.
Mhm.
And that's Mike's go-to story. If anybody asks him,
Yeah.
what's one of the things that stick out in your mind, and that is definitely it. But upstairs, they have like a banquet room, and we've gotten EVPs out of there. We had some pretty good luck with our K2 meter in there. The stairs that lead from the upstairs down into the kitchen. Do you guys know the story behind those?
No. No, I don't know those stairs.
Okay.
I only know the stairs that you go up,
Yeah,
from the
because
main entrance.
we were big Ron Paul supporters in 2012, and we'd have our meetings there.
In that banquet room upstairs. So
Yep. Okay. So if you're walking from like the upstairs lobby to that banquet room, and if you veer to the left and you keep following that hallway, it'll lead you to steps that wind down to the backside of the kitchen.
Oh, that'd be so
And
fun to
I
explore.
can't remember the date. I want to say it might have been the 20s or 30s. There was a family leaving for vacation. It was a mom, dad, and a little girl. They were walking up those steps, and the dad was carrying all the luggage, and he turned around to make sure that the little girl was still with him. And as he turned around, he knocked his daughter off of the top of the steps, and she fell to her death. So that place has been investigated many times. We weren't the only people that do that, but a lot of activity actually comes from that area. There's been EVPs, pictures of seeing a little girl apparition and stuff like that.
I have like chills right now.
Yeah.
we had a little bit of like K2 activity on the landing of the step there. We were asking questions, obviously, about the little girl, and we believe we got a few responses, but we didn't have any luck with EVPs or any type of audio or video when we investigated.
Tell you, if there's like emotional energy echoes, that would be something that would cause
Oh my gosh, yeah. That is so wild. Oh, I did not know that story, And you think of all the people that have been, that has been around for so long, and the people that have come through that place, What would you say for you personally was your maybe favorite place, whether it was scary or not, but
Maybe
you
just
were
most active.
the
Or
most
coolest.
active or coolest that you were like, oh yeah, that was a great adventure, regardless of the outcome.
Northeast bowling lanes. That we investigated that place, I don't know, probably about 5, 6 times, something like that. And from the first time to the last time, it didn't disappoint.
Really?
And yeah, one of the coolest things, so there was claims of a little boy that haunted it. And one of the coolest things that probably has ever happened to us is when we use the REM pod, just because it goes off doesn't mean that there's a spirit there. We try to have conversations with it. We'll ask, are you a male? We'll wait a little bit to see if it responds. Are you a female? If it goes off, we possibly could be talking to a female. And we just ask so many questions like that. Yes, no, something easy for them to do answers to. And
I was just reading, but I point a lot at comments
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things.
we're very interactive.
Sorry, yeah. I'm always waving to people who come in. No, I always do that for me.
So we were in the snack bar area, and that's my daughter right there.
Oh.
She went to an investigation with us.
Does not like it now.
I'll explain that story here in a second.
Okay.
But we were in the car area, and we had probably about a 45-minute conversation with somebody.
Wow.
Obviously not talking, we're asking questions, our REM pod's going off, kind of like it was answering. But we were asking the questions, and we believed we were talking to a young boy, okay, which would kind of help prove the claims of a young boy haunting that place. And we did research, and I reached out to the Northeast Historical Society. I found old newspaper articles, death records. Where the bowling alley is or was used to be a horse stable. And there was a little boy, I believe he was, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. He was caring for the horses. He walked behind a horse and he was kicked and killed. So while doing our investigation, we think that we narrowed it down to a young boy. And then after doing the research, there was a young boy, I believe he was 14 years old, that was killed while caring for the horses. And they said his name, I can't remember the name. And it was like back in 1914, 15, somewhere in there. So the early 1900s. So the claims of seeing a boy, us talking to something that we narrowed down to a young boy, and then finding out through death records that there was a young boy killed at the same area that the bowling alley was built on, that's very compelling. That's hard to disprove.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yep.
So my daughter, because it was a little boy, I want to say at the time my daughter might have been 14, 15. And because it was a little boy, I asked my daughter if she wanted to go with me to maybe help it feel more comfortable. Another kid around the same age, give or take a couple years, rather than being stuck with a bunch of adults. So we were back behind the bowling alleys where all the pin machines are and everything like that. And I'm taking pictures with my Kodak camera. And we were at the very far end behind lane 20. And as I'm taking pictures, I'm taking pictures of what looked like to be an orb coming closer to us. And as I took the last picture, you see this big bright orb. And my daughter standing next to me starts bawling her eyes out, freaks out, and runs, pretty much sprints to the front of the bowling alley. And I'm like, what the hell's your issue? And without her knowing what this entity looked like, my daughter said that she saw the little boy and described him to a T to the owner of the bowling alley. Wow. And he looked at me, I looked at him, and he said he definitely saw her. I don't know how. I believe I caught the picture of the orb, and my daughter actually saw the apparition of the boy. And it was for a split second. It's not like it hung out and talked to her. But my daughter said she saw the little boy, described what the little boy looked like. And yeah, so, but like I said, we did that place numerous times, and each time it never failed.
Oh my gosh.
Another cool thing, there was a group of us in the back, there was a group up front, and Mike, being Mike, as I said, we goof around sometimes. He had made the comment, you know, hey, if anybody's in the back with Jimmy, why don't you throw something at him? Oh. So I'm walking back, and something was thrown at me. I got hit by a little screw, and Mike heard it hit the ground, and he calls me on the walkie-talkie, and he was like, hey, what was that? I said, I don't know. I think something was thrown at me, or I don't know what it was. Oh, and Mike said, that's weird, because I had just said, if somebody's in the back with you, why don't you throw something at it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
thankfully it was small.
Yeah, right?
Now, do you ever do that to him now?
I've tried asking spirits to mess around with him, but I don't think it's happened yet.
Nothing yet, huh? Wow, okay, so both those experiences, I would have also run screaming. I would have. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely would have. And having something thrown at me, yes, I also would have been out of there so fast. Oh my gosh. Oh, so how does your daughter, did she have this belief in ghosts then beforehand, or did this really cement for her that, like, yes, it's, and how does she do with it now? Because I would still be like,
I want to say maybe 50-50. Like I said, it's always something that I believed in, and my kids live with me. They swear to God the house that we live in is haunted.
What do kids know?
Do you do stuff around your house? Do you check around your?
I have before, not a full blown investigation, but I have used my equipment before.
You have to.
Never got anything, but all of my kids swear up and down that they've heard, seen things. I never have, so I can't confirm nor deny it. Mm-hmm. But I definitely think that, after what Caitlin went through at the bowling alley, I don't know if she's 100% sold on it, mm-hmm. but I think it definitely changed her perspective.
For sure. And to describe, to describe to a T what other people had seen without knowing, mm-hmm. That's just wild.
And they've all said that anybody who's seen that little boy was wearing like a period time, mm-hmm. light blue suit with like the ruffled collar on it, like it was his burial suit.
Oh,
so
wow.
And my daughter, she was like, I saw a little kid wearing a blue suit, and like I said, she described him, pretty much to a T. So, mm-hmm. I think that changed her perspective a little bit. And then, like I said, after that, she's, Dad, I've seen something in the windows at the house, and she's just chilling in her bedroom and something weird happens. I've never experienced anything, but like I said, I don't know if maybe that opened her up a little bit to things that happen. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
she's definitely that one stuck in her mind.
It would
See that,
be in
yeah.
mine as well. Do you guys ever, when you're somewhere, do you go into places like by yourself, or do you always stick together as a group? I would want to be always together.
No, we have a tendency of breaking off. Depending on the size of the
Mm,
place. We've investigated, like I said, everywhere from 1,000 square foot home to a 500,000 square foot factory.
yeah.
So we tend to try to stick together as much as possible, but we always have the people, and I'm one of them. I'll just kind of wander off, and people will be like, "Where did Jim go?" Um, we we've done. I'm trying to think of the location where we thought there could have been some type of demonic presence there,
Mm.
and we didn't get anything, but we all kind of said, let's stick together on this one.
Yeah.
Let's not go wander. But yeah, we've all gone into the creepy basement alone, creepy attic alone. We did a house out in Union City, and the house was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it was actually in the neighborhood where all of the bigwigs for the furniture factory out there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was the neighborhood where like the president, whatever the company, and there was a tuberculosis room in that house.
Hmm.
And when we were investigating it, we all heard footsteps up in the attic. I mean, something walking around. We thought maybe there was a creature up there, some animal maybe was trapped up in the attic. So kept looking up there. There was absolutely nothing up there. And heard things walking around. You go up there, you didn't hear anything. Come back down, you start hearing footsteps again.
Wow.
And right before we leave, we're polite, we're nice. We always say, thank you for allowing us into your house. Whatever. We try to make the spirit feel as comfortable as possible. So after we leave, it's not like what the hell just happened,
Also, we're
So-
leaving now. You stay here.
Yeah. You stay here.
Yeah, right. And you don't have permission to follow us home or
Yeah.
anything like that. But yeah, we were. I was in the middle of saying that, and I said it just one last time. If you really are here, please let us know. We're leaving right now, but if there's one last sign you want to give, just let us know. And guys, I tell you, there was this loud bang that shook the walls.
Wow.
I have no idea what it was, but just picture somebody holding a bowling ball above your head and dropping it on
Wow.
the floor. It shook the walls. It shook. The homeowner looked at me and said, that has never happened before. And we took that as a sign it was time to go, so we left.
Yeah.
That's another one. That was a weird thing that, kind of sticks in my mind a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
It reminds me of that I listened to that podcast, the Ghost Story guys or something like that.
Okay.
This dude's from like Canada, like Pacific Northwest area of Canada, like all the way across the continent. And he's telling this story about some place like he had in his dream, and he felt called to it or whatever, and he was talking about it. And then somehow he figured out where this place was, like that he was envisioning, and it was Union City. I'm like, that is so weird. I'm like, I could just drive up there and get you some footage if you need it. Like, I can't remember what he had. He's talking about things, and like I was mapping it out, like where he was talking about like this creek going through and something about like a body or something. I don't know. It was a weird story, and I can't remember the details, but I just remember that
That's
somebody
so weird.
from way over on the other side of the continent said Union City.
Union City.
Yeah.
I mean, not like Pittsburgh. You know? Oh my gosh. So my cousin had this experience where
I was just thinking that
Oh, were
story.
you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. She Thanks, Dawn, Alabama.
Thanks, Dawn.
So her husband was working a cleaning job at a place here, and it was at nighttime, and
A little grocery
a
store.
tiny grocery store that's locally owned, and they sell organic things. I won't say the name. And
Matt will.
He saw somebody standing at the end of the registers. But it was
Yeah,
closed.
you might want to talk to them.
There was nobody there. And so he was kind of like, okay, whatever, you know, like, and then finished his job and stuff and went home. And it was like the next day he was talking to his wife and was telling her about it. And she has a lot of mirrors around her house. And she saw this like black kind of shadow cross one of the mirrors. Tiny home, you know.
Oh, yeah. Like, nobody's hiding anywhere in there.
So, yeah, like nobody was in the hallway. So I'm like having chills right now telling the story because so she went and got, let's say, sage or something. She has a lot of whatever to burn through the
earthy.
house, you know, very earthy. Yeah.
Very crunchy.
And she burned it, and it actually something like, it's almost like something, her smoke detector has never gone off from this before. It was almost like something burned and her smoke detector went off. She burns a lot of incense,
Yeah.
a lot of sage, a lot of things, you know what I mean? So it was just too coincidental that, and then so he was telling me like, yeah, you know, I probably should have told it not to follow me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you have to say that kind of stuff? Like,
So
I
did
didn't
it go
even know
back?
that.
Or
Yeah.
did...
So wherever it went, I don't
Is
know.
that Twiggy's house now?
Oh, but that just weirded me out.
Yeah, I don't know. I always tell people you never know what happens until your time comes.
Yeah.
Why are there hauntings? You know, people say that a lot of your hauntings come from people who die suddenly in a car accident, heart attack. I mean, you name it, however they die suddenly. A lot of your hauntings come from that. They might have a message to relay, you know, unfinished business. A lot of people that die peacefully know that they're going, you know, like I was talking about my grandma. You may never hear from those people again.
Yeah.
They're peaceful. They said their goodbyes. They moved on. So you may never hear from them. They'll never try to contact you again. So yeah, nobody really knows. And that's one of the things that we've always done is, you know, when we leave, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, you guys stay where you're at. We don't want you to follow us. I know, I believe Mike, he always carries a little bottle of holy water with him, you know, just in case.
Just in case.
I mean, we haven't had to use it yet, but yeah, as far as hauntings go, I'm sure there's people out there that have full-time jobs at some university, parapsychologists, whatever, that may know the answer to it. But, you know, when your time comes, either, you know, you're going to stick around and have fun playing tricks on people or, you know, you're moving on and, you know, that's that. So,
yeah. Yep. Do you have like a bucket list of places you want to go, say like local and then anywhere worldwide?
well, I don't know if it's worldwide, but Rhode Island, the Conjuring House.
Oh, okay.
That is.
I heard that's pricey.
Is on my.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually have this extremely, it's, I don't know, couple dozen page, what do you call it?
Yeah, you got to sign a
Like
contract.
paperwork.
Thing that you gotta read through, yeah, like the contract or whatever. And it pretty much says if you get possessed, if you die,
Oh, like a waiver.
you know, yeah, a waiver. Thank you. I had a brain fart there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
me
But
too
yeah,
all the
it's pretty
time.
much saying if any of that stuff happens, you can't sue. You're pretty much allowed to do anything you want. They have Ouija boards you can play with. I believe you're allowed to hold seances. You're not allowed to do like animal sacrifices or anything like that. But that whole Conjuring series of movies is based on real live events. And a lot of it was from the experiences of Fred and Lorraine Warren.
Oh yeah.
They were very famous paranormal
Yeah,
investigators back in the 70s and 90s, I believe. But yeah, if somebody came up to me right now and said, any place you investigate, you're going, we'll pay for it, we'll get you in, to me, that would be number one.
Yes.
How about Waverly?
Waverly, see, that would be cool, but a lot of these places that you see on TV, like Ghost Adventures, Taps, everybody's been there. To me, it takes a little bit out of it. Eastern State Penitentiary, you know, everybody and their brother has investigated that before. Waverly, you know, there's a bunch of other places in America that, I mean, just are extremely haunted, but they either have a waiting list to get into. And I would love to be able to find a location that is extremely haunted that nobody has like ever done before, or it's been an extremely long time. You know, everybody talks about, oh, you need to go to Axe Murder Hollow.
Does anybody
there's
even
a
know where that is?
subdivision.
That's the place, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's so from our era, you know, like
Gudgeonville Bridge out in Waterford there, you know, when it was the covered bridge, everybody claims that that was haunted, but now it's a modern concrete bridge. And I don't know for certain, but I've heard that the people that live in that area, they don't like people going out and messing around with that type of stuff.
probably not. Yeah.
That's one thing, you know, we've done one cemetery before, and it was out in Wattsburg. This family owns a ton of land.
Wattsburg.
They actually discovered a small family cemetery on the property.
Oh, wow.
And so we went and investigated, and very little happened, but it was still a great experience. I mean, all the headstones were from the 1800s. I want to say the latest burial was like 1943 or something like that. But it was all overgrown with trees and weeds.
Oh, that's
and
neat.
Wow.
It was very cool. Yeah, but nobody ever investigated it before. And to me, like, that was really cool. But we've had a ton of people. You need to do Eerie Cemetery, or there's this cemetery.
Oh, the vampire crypt.
Lot of people. Yeah, right. And that's exactly a lot of what it is. A lot of people who played roles in Erie's history are buried at the Eerie Cemetery. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about just walking into a cemetery and seeing if I can conjure up some spirits, you know. A lot of people do. There's a ton of people that take a spirit box out to a cemetery, put it on a headstone, and see if they can talk to that person.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I'm also not jumping at the fact to go out and do something.
Yeah.
You know, places that people have been murdered before.
And it doesn't always have to be negative, you know.
Yeah.
Fine, like
no, right, yeah. You know, you gotta have that respect.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a ton of people that they don't know who's haunting their house. They may think that it's a loved one that passed on. you always need to be respectful of what you're doing. That's why I said we hardly ever do any try to do any provoking or anything
Right.
like that. But for me to say, oh, I remember hearing somebody was murdered in that house, and I go knocking on their door saying, hey, can I do an investigation? To me, that's a little unprofessional, you know? So
yeah, yep.
Yeah, if you get your name out there, they'll come to you if they're looking for it.
well, right, exactly. And like I said, I've never in a million years thought that we would be as popular as we are. But we always have people, reaching out to us, giving us leads, asking if we can do their home or business. So I think we're staying pretty busy with what we have right now.
It's like if you
That's
listen to like the podcast I listen to, it's like, and they always have like listener stories come in. There are plenty of haunted houses out there that aren't mainstream, in the movies on the list.
Yes, yeah.
Like really terrifying stories. And I know a lot of people probably writing in are just, authors who are just, cutting their teeth on doing some horror.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like some of them are like so like just bland that they're believable. It's like it's not like the outrageous things are happening. It's just like
like in a movie, yeah.
Yeah,
where,
it's just this weird thing keeps happening,
Mhm.
and it's just something not exciting, but it's just there. You can't explain this noise or this thing, and it's like there's so many stories like that. There's got to be so many places. Just you probably have somebody on your block that just has something weird going on. They just don't talk about it because who talks about it?
Yep. And that is exactly it too. And we've had questions, everything from I live in the old creepy farmhouse, why isn't it haunted? To we just built a brand new house. How can it be haunted?
Mm-hmm. I hear a lot of stories like that. Yeah.
We did a house out in the northeast area, northeast Wattsburg area, like on the Route 89 corridor there.
Mm-hmm.
And a family had just built a house. I want to say they were out there maybe 5 years or something like that. They believed their house was haunted. How could it be? And
land's old.
You got everything, like reclaimed land. Here to find out that the homeowner actually said back in the early 1900s, it used to be a tulip farm. And when the owner of the farm passed away, I guess his family, closed the farm down. They subdivided the property, and they ended up buying property of somebody's farmland.
Mm-hmm.
So in buying that property, you could have wrestled up a spirit because you're living on somebody else's property.
Yeah, this is my house. My land.
Yeah, we're right. Exactly. Not to scare anybody listening or whatever, but if you do estate sales or yard sales and you buy a picture that, grandma was attached to, you buy that picture, you might have bought grandma too. She could have an attachment to that picture.
Oh yeah, thrift shops.
I mean, you do something as innocent to go to a thrift shop or go to a yard sale, a block sale, and you buy something that, they're like, oh yeah, this has been in our family for 100 years. I don't want it. Give me $20. You buy it. There could be somebody attached to that. You take it home. You just invited a spirit into your house. Now, like I said, I'm not telling anybody to go out and, not buy anything, but is it a likelihood that could happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? Probably not, but there's always that chance.
There's that possibility. And I've thought of that before, and it probably was my cousin who said, things get attached to things, so I am always like, oh, well, we picked this up and
yeah, because we love thrifting, it's like
you
get a lot of cool clothes. But it's like, what was that doll my dad got? It was some porcelain doll he got. He thrifts a lot, and he gives it to the kids, and the kids like put it in the corner, like facing the wall, like they don't want to look at it. And I think it's just because I might have said it was haunted,
I think so.
Because it looks like it would be
It
a
looks
haunted
like
doll.
it would be, you know.
So they'll do weird things with it.
Yeah. So they mess around, with the like, where is she now? And it's like, ah.
Yeah, we actually have a thrift organ behind our screen right here.
Yeah. Lots of thrifted things in this house.
We got our friend Raja in the chat. He's from India. He lives in India, and he had some terrifying stories.
Yeah, he's like, this is real. This happened.
Yeah.
His experience.
He got scratched, black cloud hanging over his head.
Black cloud hanging over his head. Yep, in that rented house.
India's got some history.
It physically assaulted him, and he has very bad memories of that. And Ellie is going to haunt the best quilt she makes.
That is one of the biggest claims that we run across is people seeing large black figures, black masses, like standing at the foot of their bed.
That damn hat, man.
Oh.
Not being able to see a face, not knowing if it's good or bad. But yeah, that haunting, if you will, has been explained to us numerous times by many different people. And I don't know, I don't know if that's the most common thing. I don't know if people are having lucid dreams, where you would see something like that. I have no idea, but that is probably the most common thing of seeing tall, just jet black, dark shadows, either standing at the edge of your bed while you're trying to sleep, or walking up and down the hallways. But yeah, that one there is very common. And then people feeling pressure on their chest, like they can't breathe, feeling like they're being choked. Yeah, that's a lot of the common things that we run across, and people always ask us, what is it? We don't know. I mean, if something's to sit on your chest, suffocate you, I mean,
and that's cross-cultural. That's worldwide.
Yeah, that definitely is. So, I've heard of paranormal groups going into places and them coming out of it and having health issues. So I mean, I don't know if that's a uncommon thing or, whatever, but luckily nobody in my group nor myself has experienced anything like that. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things that could possibly go wrong.
Raja said his mom was thrown down to the floor too, and he was scratched, and then they all saw it. It must have been somewhere they were renting, he said. So they all left, but everybody from that point on, every tenant has the same story who's ever lived in that house. So I'm not going to go live in that house.
That's always the story. It's like, wow, what a great deal.
Oh, yeah. Why is this house so inexpensive? Are there weird places that you've been called? I mean, we think of houses and we talked about objects, but I mean, can anything really be like, a car or a piece of land?
I've heard of that, yeah.
Like
cars
under a tree. I mean, is it just, have you ever had anything that was...
We have that whole stone tape theory where it's just the position,
Yeah.
Like there's just something there.
I had recently talked to a gentleman. He lives out past the Waterford area, and he was years ago he was building a house, and when they were digging his well, they actually hit a grave site, an unmarked grave site. And after talking to neighbors and doing some research, he believes that the area that he built his house could be a grave site for the Indians that during the French-American Indian War that was fought out in the Waterford area. He thinks he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He said that he has a bunch of indentations in his yard where it almost looks like grave sites, and back then, if you were lucky enough to get a casket, it was just, pieces
Pine
of
box,
wood
yeah.
they threw together and put you in. A lot of people were just, buried and had the dirt thrown on top of them. So after years of your body decaying, the wood deteriorating,
Yeah.
that grave collapse causes an indentation in the ground. He said that his property has a bunch of them. And of course, he's not going to dig them up and, discover what's under there,
right.
which obviously I don't. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, I mean, land. You have reclaimed land where cemeteries have been moved, bodies have been moved. A lot of times, if you relocate a cemetery, especially back in the old days, now it wouldn't be an issue because everybody's in a sturdy casket. But if you were digging up bones from the early 1900s, the 50s, whatever, you go to move a body, you're leaving something behind.
Right.
Whether it's a small bone or whether it's a foot bone, I mean, you name it. But anything like that reclaimed land, like I was saying about that guy out there in the Northeast Wattsburg area, you have a couple 100-acre farm that was your life, and now you have a subdivision on it. That could stir up some activity.
Yeah. Yep.
And any type of object, we call them trigger objects. And that's something we like to try to use during investigation, where if we think, the homeowner might know who is haunting their house,
I'll get one of their items.
We can get an obituary, or see if they still have, an old shirt or a piece of clothing, a favorite baseball card, something like that, the spirit could be attached to. And that could very well help, stir up some activity. But yeah, anything, you name it, if it's an object that you can see, you can walk on, you can feel, there's always a possibility that something could be attached to it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of my Uncle Joey's house. Like we built a clubhouse out of the outhouses that they had in the backyard because it's an old house, old dirt basement. And I remember I don't know where they found these stones, but they found these flat rocks. I swear we might have been using them for baseball, like bases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I remember them leaning up against the garage. They were gravestones from probably some family grave site on the land.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I remember these gravestones just leaning up against the garage.
Oh my goodness.
Like it is such an old house.
Ugh.
I never felt anything there, but I have a lot of memories there because I used to
Wow.
hang out there like during my formative years.
My goodness. That's so
But yeah, there's a lot of history like that just on people's lands. They had their own cemeteries and stuff, and these are lost and forgotten, and there's people everywhere.
A lot of history in this area. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I absolutely love Eerie history. And that was one of the things that I never really took into consideration is all the historical places that are said to be haunted. We've been extremely lucky to be the only group to investigate quite a few places.
Yeah.
We've done the Warner Theater. We just did that earlier this year.
That's awesome.
We were the only group ever to investigate that place. We did the Erie Playhouse, the Dobler Mansion out there in the Fairview Girard area. I'm trying to think. There's a few other places. The house on Millionaires Row that we did. Honestly, how do we get into these places? Just pure luck. We have a couple guys, or I have a couple guys in the group that, we all kind of know somebody, we get connections, and, you make that phone call and it's like, I know this is going to sound weird, but, and, we've had some good luck with it. So
that's great.
I'm sure not a
Definitely.
lot of people ask. You know.
Do you think people? I mean, I suppose people who feel if they have a haunting, though, they would.
No, I mean, but people don't like contact people and like, hey, can I investigate your house? There's not a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that are into ghosty stuff, but there's not a lot of people who are just doing it
Yeah.
and calling people.
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume is there a lot of groups?
I think so, to be honest with you. I know of 3 others here in the Erie area.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay.
I know there's one down in Titusville.
Oh, there's
I
that
don't
history
know.
there.
I honestly, I've never really talked to any other groups. I've had people message me, asking, how do you get into places? How do you do this? How do you do that? But I don't pay attention to them
Mhm.
people that much, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
You're focusing
Everybody
on your,
does their
Yep.
it doesn't matter to me if they have 1 million followers and they're doing 15 investigations a week. I mean,
Yeah.
great for them. To me, it's not a competition.
Right.
It's something that my group, we all just do it as a hobby. We do it for fun, just like everybody else, but I want to say that group down in Titusville, I think I saw a picture of them before. They have an old ambulance that they painted in
Wow.
a spooky,
Yeah, go all in.
scheme.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to get to that, one of these days. But, yeah, so there are other people that do it. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
And
you got to get you a hearse.
how well they do. Yeah. I thought about doing the iconic Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah.
So
I like though that you are just like, I mean, there's other people out there, but it's not a competition.
Well, yeah, if
Like,
anybody
you're
were to get
having-
proof, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Like that would change everything.
You're having fun doing it, and you guys got to go into the Warner. I mean, that's big,
All these
you were the
places.
only group to go in there. How was that experience for you guys?
it was very cool.
Yeah.
A lot of history.
Learning the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few things that I found out that I didn't know about, but we got the full tour. We had access that not very many people can get into.
Right.
Our main focus was to try to find an old employee that worked there. His name is Vinny.
Oh,
And he was there ever since he was a little kid. He was a stagehand, and he pretty much died there. He worked there until his death, and he was the old conjurer that always had the cigar hanging out of his mouth, and that was his life. And ever since he passed away, a lot of people were saying that they seen him, they smelled the cigar smoke. So he was our main focus. We were really hoping we could try to get something to him. I bought a cigar. I offered him a cigar. He liked to drink whiskey, so we brought a bottle of whiskey with us. Anything as that trigger object. And we had no luck with it. But up in the projection room is where I would say probably 90% of the activity happened. If you guys go back through and if you look on our page, one of my favorite ones was nobody was up in that room. And I had one of the night vision cameras set up. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear footsteps.
Oh, boy.
Yep, it's that video right there. You can actually hear footsteps, and then you'll see an orb go shooting across the screen on like your very left. See, like right there, you hear footsteps. And then if you look right by that,
I saw it.
That light?
Yes, I saw it. Where did that come from?
Trying to crank the volume.
See? crazy.
Once again, I mean, I say it a million times. Is that paranormal? I don't know. But and it's something that, there's people out there probably saying, oh, somebody was walking down the hallway, whatever.
Mhm.
But you can believe me with all my heart, nobody was in that area. I'm pretty sure that that's when everybody was down by the stage. And that's what we do. We just leave our cameras rolling, and that's that night video vision that I was telling you that I got to sit there and review.
Yeah.
But you can literally put those footsteps, and then the footsteps almost disappear, and you see that orb shoot by. So I would like to think that
Gabriel, I don't know that we can get the volume up on here for it.
I can hear it just fine.
Okay, so you probably know what you're looking for.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you listen to that, you hear, now it's not like on a wood floor, like, footstep,
right?
But it just kind of sounds like an echo. Now, all of that floor area is concrete. The stairwell's concrete, so it almost sounds like the echo of footsteps walking down a brick concrete hallway.
Okay.
And then you hear the footsteps, and then the footsteps slowly kind of fade, and then you see that orb shoot across. I can't explain it. I would really love to say that I definitely caught something paranormal.
Yeah. That's the hardest part.
When that camera is rolling and nobody is anywhere near it, nowhere near in that area, and we caught something like that, I personally think that might be paranormal, but like I said, once I get a ghost that says, hey, sit down and have an interview with me, then everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
You have your believers. You're always going to have your naysayers that pick on you and call it fake and Photoshop. I mean, have what you will, but we don't do that, and I hope that nobody else out there does. It's a shame. A lot of these Hollywood companies,
they do.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, the producers do.
The old crew from Taps, those were the Roto-Rooter guys that started their paranormal. I can't remember.
I used to
their
watch that one.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw Ghost Adventures, but I watched Taps.
They lost their contract because they were caught faking evidence.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know if it was the group doing it or if the group was forced to do it for ratings. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
It's got to
I've
be
heard
entertaining.
rumors about right. Exactly. If you don't get evidence, nobody's going to watch. And
a lot of times
I heard the same thing about that's why Nick Groff, he was part of the Ghost Adventures crew, and they ended up parting ways. Rumor has it, take it for what it's worth, but there was a discrepancy about evidence and things like that. And either Nick didn't want to be a part of it or he wanted to fake the evidence. I can't remember how that story went down, but we've said it a million times. If we get things, we get things. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't make the best TV show. It's a nice highlight clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, for us, there is no, and people rely on us. And that's another thing too. You get somebody that calls and says, hey, we think our house is haunted. We want to know what's going on. Can we find you an answer? Maybe. Is it likely we will? I don't know.
Yeah.
But if somebody's calling us to rely on us to try to find an answer that's going on in their home, we're going to do everything possible. It would be great to say, hey, this is what we found. You may have activity that might scare them or that might make them at ease, saying, all right, well, at least we know we might have something.
I'm not
If we
crazy.
go in
Yeah.
somewhere and we don't, great, but I'm not gonna take a picture and Photoshop a demon standing in the corner and say, you guys need to move.
Right.
I'm not doing that,
Yeah.
You have no incentive to, because you're not a Hollywood show.
Right. But
no.
I like that you say that people rely on you. So it's not about like, oh, we're creating this thing, but it's the genuine, like we're going
Trying to figure out what's going
seek
on.
and help. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I like that.
now, if people ask for advice, do you usually go the witchy route or do you go the church route?
Maybe a little bit of both. I've never been to a location where I believe an exorcism needed to be done. But you can't just get a hold of any old church to do an exorcism.
Oh yeah, that's hard
Yeah.
to do.
I believe you do. I believe you do have to go the proper route, and there's not very many priests out there that will exorcise a person or a building.
Mm-hmm.
You can call any church and ask them to do a cleansing. They'll come in, they'll say a prayer, they'll bless the house, but that's not the same as an exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
So we've never had to go down that route. We did a house out in Fairview where a lady believed that there was an attachment to her son. And when they moved into the house, her son's attitude kind of changed, things of that nature. We are lucky enough to have a psychic medium on our team who is extremely good.
Oh, that's neat.
Very good. He actually walked into that house without ever saying hi or anything to the homeowner. She walked into that house and she pinpointed so many things. She was able to help her son out, give her some advice. I believe she gave her some sage, to burn in the house and whatnot. And I'll never forget, before we left, our psychic medium that we have, she was talking to the homeowner and her son, and everybody pretty much started breaking down into tears because she was so spot on with everything that was happening. And a few weeks after we did the investigation, I reached back out to the homeowner, and she said that she noticed a positive change in her son.
Wow.
Now I haven't talked to her in quite a while. I don't know if things are still going good or not, but yeah, after we did the investigation and we left, things got a little bit better for that family.
Oh, that's good.
I like this because I have thoughts on this too. Raja from India says, one genuine question to ask him: does Christian prayers work on demonic entities of different cultures or religions? Like, could there be a different protocol to deal with that entity? And like, I believe it is a lot of intention. It's like different. As long as you believe it's going to work, it could work.
Yes, possibly. You got to know what you're doing. Now, by no means am I an expert on this, but I'm an amateur expert, I guess, if you will. If you have a demonic entity, and it's without a doubt, it could backfire on you very easily.
Yeah,
if
he's
you
asking
pull
about
out a
jinn,
Bible and if you just start rambling off Bible verses, that isn't a very good thing. You need to know what you're doing. A lot of times, people say that sage works and you can cleanse a house by burning candles, this, that, and everything else. Yeah, it's a possibility that'll work. But when you're talking about a demonic entity that can literally possess you, give you the powers, there's known cases of people who are possessed committing suicide, murdering people, doing the worst things you can imagine. If you don't know what you're doing, you could open up something that you do not want to mess with.
Yeah.
And that's why the term exorcism it's still used, it's still performed, but the Catholic Church actually trains priests on giving exorcisms. That's why I said you can't just go to any local church and say, "Hey, I think
Oh
my
yeah, they
house
got to
has a
be
Right.
demon.
qualified.
Can you go exorcise?"
Mm-hmm.
You have to be qualified, and I think, don't quote me on it, but I think it has to come down from the Vatican.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. They have to go all the way to the top and back down.
Yeah.
That's something that they take absolutely serious. So, um, you know,
Oh,
so
Roger.
that
Yeah.
is, yeah, that is a lot of claims. As I said, before, I've never dealt with anything like that, but usually when exorcisms are performed, they are spoken in the old world language,
Yeah.
Arabic and things of that nature, Hebrew,
Greek,
a lot of
Mhm.
that stuff. Yep, Greek,
Latin, yeah, Latin.
um, Latin, yep. They do that, because it they believe that it would help. If you speak the words of the Bible, the way the Bible was written, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the Bible written originally in Latin, I believe, and then it was
Oh yeah, yeah,
translated to
definitely different
English?
language. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they do. But yeah, I mean, if you open up the Bible and just start saying a Hail Mary or something like that,
Yeah.
Literally a Hail
it
Mary.
might not, you know.
This has been
Yeah,
wonderful. Oh my gosh.
I love Rajay said he like a tenant got possessed there and started speaking Arabic,
Mm-hmm.
and he's spicy Hindu.
Doesn't
Can't
speak
speak.
Arabic.
This has been great. It is 11. We got a big day tomorrow. I'm sure you got a lot going on, so I don't want to keep you up any longer.
Yeah, I mean, because we could just keep going. I enjoyed all the stories that you shared, everything that you talked about. I love the fact that you guys help in the community, and I love
Celeste.
hi Celeste, she just popped in. I love the fact that you guys are genuine and that you help people, and that is your purpose.
Not to entertain.
Yeah, not for the entertainment, but to show what you find, but to really help people who are in need. I think that's wonderful. So I'm so glad we got a chance to chat.
Same here. And I appreciate you guys and your kind words. We really do. Like I said, we do it for fun. It's a hobby of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I never in a million years would have thought we would have been this Facebook popular, if you will.
Yeah, yep.
6,500 followers in like 5 different countries. I've actually worn my Eerie Unknown shirt out in public before, and I've had people come up to me and
Isn't that neat?
say, "Hey, are you part of that? We follow you on Facebook," or whatever.
Yeah.
It truly is an honor, but with us being what we are now, and helping out the community, raise some money. Next weekend, I'm going to be doing a little meet and greet down at the Erie, the Blasco Library downtown.
Oh, neat.
They got a whole. They're doing a little like a children's ghost hunting storytelling, and they asked if I could come down and show them the equipment and stuff like that. So with people asking to do podcasts and asking to do meet and greets and help out with their events and raising money for Presque Isle Lighthouse and other businesses, I mean, it truly is just a blessing, honestly, that people can come to us and try to rely on us to do some stuff.
Yeah, I think that's great. Where can people, what's the best platform then to find
Facebook.
you guys? Is
Yeah.
Facebook the
Yeah,
best place to go?
We are we're on Facebook.
You guys don't have a YouTube,
honestly,
do you?
I don't. We do not. We've talked about it a million times, but nobody has the technology, the video editing software, anything like that.
Yeah.
And to be able to take a 5-8 hour investigation, edit it down into a half-hour, 45-minute video.
That's a lot of time.
Trying
That's
to
a lot.
find time like It definitely is.
Mhm.
We've thought about seeing if anybody would donate time every once in a while to do it for us, but honestly, we just really haven't got that far in life. So
Yeah.
we're doing pretty well with the way we are,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
who knows? That could
So
be down the road,
Yeah.
you know. Just
yeah,
keep
Well, I
trucking.
like this stuff. If you ever need some help, let me know. I'm more than willing. And if you ever want me to get a GoPro and come with you, and
Oh my gosh, no.
I would appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to stay in touch, and
yeah,
if I got a couple investigations I'm trying to get lined up here. So I never mention when and where unless we get the permission.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
I do the same
That's
thing with
another thing.
guests.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have somebody's house, I'm not like, hey, we're going to be at this address tonight.
Mhm.
We always ask permission for the Facebook Live if we can advertise for it.
Mhm.
Especially the buildings. When we advertised for the Warner Theater, Erie News Now got a hold of me. They wrote a newspaper article. We were interviewed 2 or 3 times. The journalist that was doing the story, he came with us on the investigation. So that was a big, to do, and just an awesome experience. And I hope we can experience something like that again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, we'll be watching.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for taking the time. Keep on keeping on with what you're doing. And we'll keep
I
following
appreciate
you. Yeah.
anytime you guys want to talk, this was a blast. So anytime you guys need me, you want something to talk about, just shoot me a message and we'll get it together.
Cool.
Thanks so much, James. You have a wonderful evening. Have
Yeah,
a great
thanks for coming in.
weekend.
Thank you. You too. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. That was fun. Celeste, you got here just in time. I was wondering if Celeste wasn't coming on because she knew maybe we were talking to a ghost hunter. So that was so fun and so many good stories. And if you guys lived here, then you would be like, wow,
Oh, you'd actually know the places,
yeah, to know the places and things and like, oh my gosh, I go there.
Yeah, but like
That's your
I
favorite.
said,
That's your favorite bathroom, Dave.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna shut this off now just and finish up our show.
That was a lot of fun. Bye, James. Thank you.
Bye. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night. Dave does walked in. Yes, he's a local ghost hunter here. And
Yeah, so all the places he's describing, like we know where
yes,
they're at and
yeah,
stuff. And
yep.
we've been there. It was kind of neat, especially for us. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
It was really fun.
Yeah,
that was really fun. Raja, I'm glad you were here and that you hung out and that you shared with him your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And Celeste, like I said,
it's not demons. He's just paranormal investigator. So if somebody has like weird things going on in their house and they want somebody to come check it out with all the electronic stuff,
yep.
They call these guys.
And they go places, and he told us about some things that happened in places, but there were some that he can't disclose the location because it's
just a personal
private
thing. Yeah.
Private property or personal.
So
thing.
they're not like TV stars. They just
right.
They
They're
go
not
investigate
looking to
for people.
Become the next, XYZ.
Thanks, Kara.
Thanks, Kara. Thanks so much for being here. I had a great time. I can't believe it's after 11. That went by really fast, like really fast. So
yeah, and that's just a couple blocks from us.
Yeah. Oh boy, it is only a few.
And
blocks.
also that little grocery store. I wonder if since it followed it home, did they go back to where they came from?
I don't know. Yeah.
They're like, oh, I got saged away. I guess I go back to the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was because she's burned a lot of incense before, and the fact that she saw something and then the smoke detector like started spazzing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's your anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And I'm glad you had a good night. Celeste. It sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You guys need that time to still be husband and wife. Even though you're mom and dad now, you still have to be Celeste and Max, and husband and wife. So thanks, Ellie. Thanks,
Elmo. We got to see the baby. We
oh my
saw
gosh,
the baby.
we got to meet the baby.
We were there.
We held Irene. Oh my goodness, she's adorable. So it is time to go.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's after
I almost
11.
wanted to share my new thing, but we'll do that next time.
Yeah, do it next time, honey. Yeah,
when
because
it's done.
It's late right now. So
Oh.
Okay, that was Simon. I'm like, now I saw something.
So that's so
in the
much
corner
fun
of
as
my
we're
eye.
talking to the ghost stories, doing all this ghost stuff. We're sitting in a dark basement,
Oh yeah.
which is
Like
our
I'm gonna have
studio.
to go upstairs and watch some funny cat videos.
No, we're watching, what is it, Phantasm?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm watching Phantasm tonight.
I have a big day tomorrow, so I'm gonna go get some good rest. I'm sorry about your food poisoning, Jay Forte. My goodness, I'm so sorry.
So
On
we got
your
we got
anniversary.
Sunday night. We're watching The Possession. Isn't that great? One more scary movie.
One more
Sorry,
scary
Celeste.
movie.
And then we're getting the holiday season and maybe some normal stuff. Affleck was the Phantoms.
Phantasm.
I actually own that movie. I have it in the box over there. She
Love
said
you
he
too,
said
Raja.
both. There's bot in there.
The bot shows up anytime anyone uses the letters B-O-T together.
I have
so.
ideas. We're
Oh, boy.
gonna make it more human.
So let me say, no, don't make it more human. Next Friday, though,
But it won't
guys.
respond to that.
But listen, next Friday, we have a family commitment
What?
that we have to be.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. It'll give you more time to work on all your projects, okay? Maybe we can bust it out on another night. Okay? But we yeah. We have a family commitment, so we won't be here next Friday, okay? So, just so you
The
guys
design
know,
is very
if anybody
human.
even heard me, they're all talking shit to the bot.
So did
But
we figure out
anyway.
all the triggers? We got Mike hit the sound trigger today.
Okay.
There's one more secret trigger that I don't think anybody will ever hit.
Oh.
I don't know why they would.
I'm not quite so sure.
Die Hard
Die Hard
season's
season
coming.
is coming up. Yes.
It's not.
It is not that. So I'll tell you what, Aaron, that Chris typed that into our screensaver.
on our that's coming up.
No offense,
On our
Mary, but we're
living room
trying to
TV.
stop Skynet. Yeah, so if you leave the computer on up in the living room too long,
It says penis.
says-
Like, because
yeah.
David had all of his friends stay the night.
Damn
and
it,
they
dumb
woke up.
shit, David.
Only
they see
you
it?
can do that. You and Gary can do that.
Did that pop up?
Yeah, they saw it.
Oh gosh. I
Just
forgot
penis
to
floating around on the screen. Not a picture
Not
of
the
one.
word, or not it is the word, not an actual one, but he typed it in.
It's funny. We have an interview and then we just go full.
Yeah, full
LLN.
LLN, right? So today we did, I'll tell you real quick the story real fast. We did biology, me and the younger kids. So I had them draw, they did an outline of their bodies and they're putting things, like tibia, fibula, so we did esophagus and kidneys and intestines today and stuff. And just as I was about to point to the kidneys on the TV so they could see where to put it, I went to point to it, but it had been on long enough that I was like, okay, and now we're gonna, and the screensaver popped up. It said penis, and I'm like, nope.
We're not doing that.
Nope.
I think it has to be capital, Gary. Try that. It shouldn't be case sensitive.
Oh, did Gary
It
Gary
doesn't
get
say-
it?
Hey, Vsauce.
Oh.
Michael here.
Oh.
Action and danger.
Why can Aaron do it, not Gary?
Oh, the DDD?
No, the Vsauce.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, well, you guys figure that out. Don't eat the fish.
There's also a super trigger if you send us
Hey, Vsauce. Michael here.
$500.
Action and danger.
Actually, don't.
A super trigger?
Yeah. That's where I go. Oh.
Tops lemon water. It's actually not bad. I didn't get to Wegmans, so the sparkling water is the lemon from the Tops today. And that one, if I have to drink the Tops one, lemon would be my favorite one. So
Official live stream of Tops.
yeah, I was like drinking this and I'm like, we should ask some seltzer company to be like good seltzers that I like to drink, seltzer waters. And then maybe they would sponsor us if I drank their seltzer, because I drink a lot of seltzer water.
You
now,
push a lot of seltzer. Yeah.
So.
She demanded it today.
Well, I said
From
I
a
don't have any
can.
cans. Yeah, and
Which
I'm
is
used
fair.
to drinking beer out of
Yeah.
a can. So I
Because
was
after
I'd
the
like to
school
have
day
some
you
water.
had, you needed to chug a can of something.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got a lot more stuff to do.
All right. Well, I have to
Everybody's
go to
trying
bed.
trigger
Big day
things.
tomorrow. Yeah, you guys can figure it out. Maybe Dave will leave it on tomorrow.
You guys can run tests.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being amazing, wonderful friends. We love you guys. I'm so excited about all the folks that popped in.
We'll see you Sunday night
that
at
were here
9.
to see James. It was really nice talking with him and the people who commented who were watching because he was on today. So we had a really fun time. So we'll see you Sunday for super.
We got to get more guests.
Yeah, super secret.
And we need more guests. If you
movie.
think of anybody who's not too famous to be on our show, but is not political and just somebody who's doing something interesting, we'd love to talk to them.
I'm really, I don't want to do political stuff anymore. You know, it's like, it's too much, you know, I can't take it.
Especially right now.
I would rather just talk to people.
All right.
You know? And we haven't had a guest in a long time, and I forget how much I really enjoy
I think it's a good
having
show.
a guest and having someone to chat with like that. So, yeah. Aaron. All right, guys. I swear I'm done chatting.
All right, good night, guys.
I love you guys.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series, I'm here to spill the real tea. You're trying to dethrone me from spot on number 1, but you in the year you lose, so best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done, cause we only just begun. I review you, zero vibe is gone. So come on, T-Series, looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Oof. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 9-year-olds, the world's a whole, your defecation. Oops, multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now download the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just wet in their pajama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Support!
Magic potty, baby, your bottle's all done. It's potty training time, will be so much fun. I help you with your training dance, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty, baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.